we move. Welcome to episode 102, I believe, of the Black Bra podcast. I am Olori.
I am Eka.
And I am Effie.
We were going to talk about entitlement in this episode, and maybe a good place to start is Nedu of Wazobia FM and his estranged wife. Now, the reason why, because as more info keeps coming out, okay? So to set the stage here, his estranged wife, I think the divorce has not been final yet, maybe, I don't know. But she called him out today saying that he domestically abused her and put a picture with a bruise on her arm. And so he countered her by saying that I have been cleared of all domestic abuse allegations, but let's not forget the fact that our first child is not mine, right? You passed on somebody else's child as, like, you gave birth to a child in my house and passed the child off as mine for a while, and when I got tired of your infidelity issues, I did a DNA test on all of the kids and found that the first kid was not mine. So that's where we are in this fight now. The latest info is apparently that this kid in question isn't Nedu's, and Nedu is like an OAP, an on-air personality on radio in Nigeria. That this first kid in question that is not Nedu's is actually the wife's sister's husband that owns that child.
Huh.
Yeah. Please
it's
go
the
to
wife's sister's husband.
Go to Linda. It's there. No, it's not talking too much, because basically a fellow colleague of his has come out to say that if Nedu will not talk, right, I will talk.
Why is he talking? Why is everybody always talking these days?
But I think sometimes it's plan work. You know how someone's friend, we post the car. Right, so that it's not you that post the car.
Look like.
It's your friend. Thank you. So I think that may be what's going on here, because Nedu has done a civil statement. So it's all the other side guys are now coming out. So the guy is saying that that us that know that the pregnancy that led to your marriage. So the headline is this: the pregnancy that led to your marriage was for your sister's husband, which means that it seems like Nedu only married her because pregnancy was on board, right? Then to now find out that the pregnancy that fast tracked this marriage is not your own. It's not a random guys. It is her sister's husband that has this pregnancy. Then you now have the effrontery and the entitlement to want to drag him outside. For what?
Wow.
Now we didn't know you before. We didn't know that you passed on a child for one man as a child for another man. We didn't know that you were sleeping with your sister's husband before this. See your life in the open right now.
Oh.
But that is so bad. That is so bad. Because Nedu, as you're saying, Nedu would have probably married her based on her. I've gotten somebody pregnant. It is my doing. Let us get married. And then everything is going okay. Or maybe because, I don't know what the situation was, but maybe they were obviously dating. He liked her to the point of saying, okay, against all odds, let's marry. Then to find out, true, that it is not, that means you didn't even value your sister, like that. You're saying it's her own sister, the husband.
Yes, her sister. Yeah.
Lord, that's a hard one to forgive. And then there's a product, a child. Now, and she's still coming out to talk. And then he continued with the marriage now, Shebi, because they now had second child, third child.
No,
so that means
he didn't know.
He didn't know all this time.
He didn't know. It was when he was having some suspicion of auntie cheating.
Yes.
I said, okay, you know what? Let me just, to avoid had I known.
Let me just DNA, because these stories we're hearing.
And lo and behold, the anchor child that got her into this marriage is not his own.
No. Is it fair? And now she's telling him that, has she gone to her sister's husband to ask for money for the first child?
Maybe her shame reached there, because how will you explain to your sister boy are harassing her husband.
Abi
Husband.
maybe the sister knows and they've already cut her off self.
Exactly, because many women do that in the sense of like, okay, you have done this very big crime now, right? For us to move forward, cut her off, and by extension, the kid
Yeah.
as well. So I'm out of shame that okay, I've already matline too much, right? Let me also agree. You're not facing the Nedu that was a
A
victim.
victim. Hi. No. This is very wrong. Do you know I didn't know this is what happened? And all this time I was like, Nidu, that's how you divorce you and your first wife divorce. Because there was so much when he got married to this new wife that he has, there was so much around it that where is your first wife? Why did you leave your first wife? Now she has come with her own self. The public sympathy she had before now, she has come now and her whole yash has opened in public. So really, what does she want from us? She's not asking Nedu for money. You know this thing. If you decide that you will do something malicious like that and have 3 children, auntie be struggling and be making money and sending them to school.
Exactly.
Don't come and expect, because maybe the guy, unfortunately, it is unfair to the kids because now it's not as if the kids did anything. It is the mother that messed up. But to expect somebody to just move on like that and just move on, even though it's his kids though, but then some people, even the ones that all the children are their own self and this thing, they will still leave the children and run away. So how much more this one that you to the girl, the wife, you were wonky? Gosh. If the story is true, I hope it's not fabricated, sir.
And
This
to me,
sister.
I'm not saying don't take care of your kids, but to me, I feel like you started off as saying that he was a domestic abuser,
Domestic,
and that
yes.
became that his bigotry that he's still married to you. Then now, last, when I hear that okay, it's child support, I'm like, pick it as in. So to me, this just smells like a clout chasing for no reason.
Let me also say, because I mean, my thing is, if you know this woman has no shame. Let me start by saying it, because you came to call out someone on domestic violence. Meanwhile, you know that the person's first child, that the person's child, what
Bam,
happened behind closed doors.
bam.
Secondly, I think it's also, I don't know if the word, I can't say if it's jealousy, but there's a word they normally use, because Nedu is doing much better than he was when they got married. I remember when Nedu was
Yes.
just he used to just randomly
Wazobia,
appear. But I
yeah.
mean, so it's like, maybe she's like, maybe she never thought, that, oh, this guy will get to this point. I'm sure when he left her, she was like, go to hell. Because why are you coming and asking for money? You should have come to us and tell us, look, I need money from this guy because he's not taking care of his kids, not to come and make us pity you. Meanwhile, there's nothing there. Like, it's ridiculous. She just wants to pull him down. Unfortunately, the God of the do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The god of the do other plans.
And in her divorce settlement, why didn't she fight at the time
Exactly.
for him to be paying a certain amount? It's now that you've seen that Nedu is everywhere
He's
now.
doing.
You're now coming to say pay for 4 years. You've been paying rent.
No,
Now it is tough. You're coming to meet Nedu.
to
Why
meet, as
didn't
in,
she start fighting for him since? Didn't she see how? Anyway, she wouldn't have seen because it's been long since it happened.
like, you trapped someone. As in, I even remember
Ah.
that wedding. I was like, this girl is pregnant. Maybe that's why they got married. We did not even know it was somebody else's child. And the girl she's a really pretty woman. So I'm sure she'll be like, look at this man. I beg, I would just, because the person that accused her also said lesbian lovers. And that's
Wow.
something that's a big thing in Lagos, but maybe for another day. But it's like women marry men just for any reason, but they know the people that that their heart belongs to, unfortunately. But it's she's trying to drag him down, but no, it won't
won't
happen.
work. And then
It
the
won't.
worst part is that you're supposed to be quiet when you have done something wrong.
Exactly.
When
Like,
you
what's
have
effort?
brought it's when you have brought a child into the scene. Maybe you sit down in your house. You not go around and start cheating to make the man suspect and then do DNA test. Except maybe the child now started looking like his husband. Nedu says something fishy going on here. Gosh.
It's
This
the
is
lack of
so
shame for
bad.
me.
And the lack of what do you call that in conscience. You're strong. You're strong
And
in
can
your
I
resolve.
also call out men a little bit, like, because this, like, I hear too many stories of, like, it basically seems like they would not have married this woman under any other circumstance other than the pregnancy.
Yes.
So
Yes.
why are you having unprotected or careless sex with somebody that you know that is either not your spec, your standard, whatever? Why are you taking that risk? Because no way she will be able to pin pregnancy on the do if you were not there in a compromised way. It's true.
I hope he was celibate when he was with his new wife. No, before they married.
to avoid stories that would be so.
That's it. Because to be honest, it should make somebody afraid after that. See, the issue is that unprotected sex is more popular than protected. So that's just the bottom line. That's just the bottom line.
No, me, I'm not even arguing with you. I'm just saying that if you know, like even girls do it, I can't marry this man. I know I can't marry this man, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why are you now not protecting yourself to avoid anything that will prolong this short-term thing? Why?
Me, my own is even, you forget even the people that now have gotten married. The one that is already married to the sister of the girl. Why is he having unprotected sex with his in-law?
That's a fair point. That's a fair one.
That's the genesis of the problem.
That's a fair one.
God, you know that you're committing adultery. At least we have confirmed that even if fornication is not in 10th commandment, adultery is there. And then you're doing it unprotected to the point of a child. Hey.
Because see what that now brings in, right? Let's assume that your wife is faithful to you, right? You are sleeping with her sister, maybe hoping that the sister too is only sleeping with you. Sister is sleeping with Nedu. I'm not telling you, maybe. Only God knows who else Nedu is dealing with. So the poor wife is exposed to so many people in this network. Moving on to other levels of entitlements in this life. Let's talk about sibling entitlement. Let's since that is topical right now. Like, I think we all have like good relationship with our siblings on this group. But like, isn't there a line? Like, a sibling should not milk you dry. Like, like where's that line? Because for me, I just feel like the fact that you're the richest person in your family doesn't mean that everybody's load should be on your head. So how do we raise entitled? I don't. That's, to me, I don't understand that. You are an adult. My brother is a top footballer. Why don't I focus on making money for my own self? But no, I'm so attached to this. My bro is rich. I'm like, okay, so are you rich?
Even if you're not rich, are you doing something? Are you fending for yourself and not expecting your brother to? Because it's one thing to have a rich sibling. It's another thing for you to expect that the sibling should be giving you anything. Anything at all. Because who made the law that? Because a lot of people who say it, open their mouth and say it, like when there was this lady that came out that apparently P Square's sister, and people were commenting that why would P Square allow their sister suffer like this and everything. Now, do you know what? In life, as a good person, you're not supposed to see somebody else suffering, whether it's your sister or your brother, and then if you have the means to help, you should not help, right? As a good person. But then, where do you draw the line when somebody is a leech? That is my own issue, because you can help somebody to the point where the person doesn't want to help themselves. Like, I can't understand when people will say, but it doesn't matter. To the point where the sibling that is rich will now be working for the family members. It doesn't make any sense to me. And a lot of people in that our Nigeria, that is what they don't understand. To the point where the sibling that doesn't even know how to work one day in their life will be demanding. For example, look at somebody. Your sibling that is rich has worked their way to that riches. obviously I would exclude politicians because some of them, even themselves, they even work.
It's
They do
work.
some things. They
It's
do some
work
things to
too. It's
get there.
work.
Because if you could do it now, Shebi, why don't you
Oh,
do it?
thank you. Thank you.
Uh-huh. So somebody will work or finish working. Even if you say somebody that is in a shower work, they are working. They'll finish working. You sit down in the house and say they couldn't even buy me car. Like some people open their mouth and say things like that. And I'm like, because they like nobody has the right. Like this entitled topic is a painful one because people are really, really entitled. Entitled to not even only entitled, let's even remove money out of the equation. Entitled to helping you discipline make decisions for yourself as a
Bam.
grown up. Hmm.
That how was it not on one blog that we're reading that, but that she didn't like. I think the brother. I think she's old. She's the older sister. The brother married a younger girl, and in their house, the girl is very free. She goes to her sister down, on his lap,
Oh
kisses
yeah,
him.
I
I think
remember.
they even have sex to her own hearing. And
Hmm.
the other sister had the unmarried. Let me be clear: the unmarried, unpartnered, unboyfriended, older sister had the
Who is a
guts.
squatter?
Who is a squatter? Tell you, had the guts to go and report the girl to the village that she won't take it. Like who the hell are you? Like, who exactly are you?
So they should be respecting you and doing sister in their own house. You don't want them to love their love. Can you imagine?
Like the entitlement like baffles me. Even parents, as in, and this is what like African parents, or maybe just parents in general. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I think even African parents too don't do more than yourself, so that you not use a request to kill your child. It's true, because I was one person gave me one gist. The girl was in one of these European countries doing ashy work, and so the girl was sending money back home for the mother to build a house for her. So along the line, the girl ran into immigration problem in the country that she was, in. So they deported her back to Nigeria. Okay, now, Mama, you told me the house was at this location, plot 5, road A. I'm standing, or I think she told the man that, oh, Mama, I sent somebody to that location to give you something, but you're not at home. Where are you? She's like, oh, I'm in church, I'm coming. Right? Only to get there, you are not the owner of road A plus B. Okay,
Hey,
Mama, where is the money that I've been sending? Okay, fine. You didn't build the house. Okay, all well and good. Where's the money though? The mother could not account for the
a
mother,
mother, a
for the
mother.
money. All in the name of, I carried you for 9 months. I'm your mother. Do you know what this girl went through in a cold country to be doing ashy work?
Hmm. Hmm. It's not fair. It's not fair. Even okay. Even for parents self to even come and then you come to your child's house and you're just changing things up. Like your child has a system that works for them. You come in because you're the mother. You come and say, you don't come and tell the person, oh, I saw you doing this. Oh, by the way, I feel this is better. What do you think? No. You come and then say no, that it's like, for example, you already see that your child is in her house with her husband. She has a house help. This is how the house help does work. You now tell the house help, no, do it like this. The house help will say, but madam said, she said no, that I'm your madam's mother. It's little things like that. It's not right because you're not the owner of the house. If somebody came to come and that what annoys me is that a lot of parents sometimes forget, if their own parents came to come and do it to them, would they like it? It's like, I think, I don't know.
Especially these
Can I
mothers.
say?
These
Can
mothers,
I say?
especially. Yeah.
Let me say, most people, it's actually a thing that goes from generation to generation. Like
Yeah.
it happened to their mother, so they're going to
So they
do it
must
to
do it.
exactly.
Yeah.
Even this whole enabling, because I feel like when somebody is entitled, I've seen situations where somebody takes it upon himself. I don't know why, to make sure that he will support his brothers, sisters, their children, even grandchildren. He's been supporting these people for at least 30 years and he's still doing it. He takes it upon himself. And then I've seen situations where parents are like, oh, because maybe you're the first daughter or the first son, you have to take care of the younger ones. And then you're like, okay, I take it upon myself. So I think for some people, it's in their mind. Maybe your mother or your father has told you, look, you're responsible. Because instead of you saying, okay, telling your siblings that, look, everyone for himself at the end of the day, I would love you as an older sibling or as an ordinary sibling, but you need to actually be independent out of me, your brother or your sister. So I think most times it comes from the parents. And unfortunately for some people, it's like from the past, from the grandparents, it was the same kini that happened. So
but
that's what
parents never on that, because in what you just said now, for example, except it was the case where we only had money to send one person to school, right? And we sent you. Except is that, right?
Exactly.
As a parent, to not encourage your other kids
children
to fend for themselves, right? I don't understand the business case. Like, don't you think that if everybody else is stable, that we'll have more resources in the family? But no, you're enabling. Like, to me, like, as a parent, like, I feel like, especially in the Nigerian system, where like the children tend to be the retirement plan, right? I think you doing a poor job with your kids, you will be the one to eat it, because the one thing, if like they're all siblings, but then I've seen it, extend to aunties and uncles.
Yeah.
But I'm like, you're an auntie, not as in you. As in, you and this man are not blood direct. You are an auntie's child, and your auntie or your mother is not encouraging you to stand up on your own. So why they're not sharing will? So they'll not leave the core family and come to you.
Even talking of auntie, I've seen people do it, extend it to friends. I know some people that have been supporting their friends for years. I mean, this your friend, doesn't he have hand? Doesn't she have hand? Why does she always come to you to pay school fees for, So I think people should not let other people be entitled to their wealth or their time. I mean, unless you're actually, like, if it's a family thing, your wife and your children are entitled to an extent, especially when they're young, to your time, your presence, your money. But after a certain age, once you're an adult, nobody should be entitled. I think people need to nip it in the bud once it starts. If not, you just have family members, friends, and all kinds of people just coming, and that's what I think, sure.
This thing that you've also said, even in reverse, children that are entitled to their parents' money and everything, and time and all that. You can imagine somebody's child, you're a grown ass man or woman, and then you're now saying, like how we watched on Justice Court, you're now saying that your father invested in a business for you, sent you to school. You couldn't find a job for yourself. Your father still set you up in business, and you have the guts to say that when it was time to be giving your father didn't even ask you for the whole money back. He just said, be paying me my
dividend.
Share. This guy is now forming big guy. Have you ever made that kind of money before?
Thank you.
Hey.
Entitlement. It's crazy.
And it's always lazy people that are entitled. Yeah. It's always.
And the thing is, they've never made that money. If it's money, they've not made even a quarter of it, but they're entitled to it. For what now?
But can we also put some blame on the victim, if you will, of because for me, on some level, you encourage it, whether it's for so that they won't call you a bad brother or sister. Because the truth is that you didn't have the kids, like you didn't, like your parents were the ones knocking to have 78 kids. It wasn't you. It's true. So why is it so what's the word now? Why do you take it so personally?
Yeah.
Right. Because I've seen someone where like the person know, because some people don't know that the family is using them, but they don't let themselves think there. But some people know, and the person was basically like, I know that as in how I put it, the person was like, I know this person is asking me for something on code to protect their ego. So like they know that, how men say, oh, let me borrow, but in their mind there is no plan.
Yes, to pay
back. Yeah.
So that's how the person was asking it, that so that they will at least have some ego in the mix. And the person that was being asked knew, as in he saw the game that was being, but he still would give. So to me, I'm like, what is that? what is the issue there? Is it that you don't want person to be seen as bad, or seen as that you abandon your because I don't think family did that much for you. I said, no offense.
Let me say, from a personal experience, I've seen situations where somebody says, "Oh, everyone is looking at me because I'm like the breadwinner, or I'm the
Yeah.
person that made it in the family. So it will make my family look bad if I don't do this." I know somebody who has supported his brother from even like at least 40 years, and this person is like 60 something, and it's like, if I don't build a house for my brother, people will say this. If I don't send his
Yeah.
kids, doing these things. And unfortunately, most of them haven't turned, even the ones they begged to go to school. It's like, go to school so that we can, change this family's history or change the family name. And it's like, why are you like, it's not, it shouldn't be a reflection of you because you've succeeded. So if other people don't succeed, why is it such a big deal to you? So I don't know, there's something there, Sha. I don't know why.
I think it's
Because
just
some people,
ingrained in
yeah.
our culture, basically, that you have to help, you have to do. So a lot of people have their minds are conditioned in that manner of, okay, regardless of how bad the person you're helping is treating the help or treating you,
Yeah.
in order for what will people say not to reach you, you'll be covering up the person's mess, and that is what causes the person to be spoiled. So, for example,
Exactly.
if you keep on enabling a spoiled child, the child will
Oh,
not never learn. The
exactly.
child will never learn. So it's all those kind of things. So basically, you have friends or family members, not even your child self, that are basically your children that you're taking care of.
And that's the thing. I even know someone that did the same thing for the person's sister, and it's like, when the person and their sister stopped talking, the sister, she didn't die. Like, you move on.
Right,
Abi, Abi.
right, right.
And it's okay, all these years she were telling you to leave this girl, but you were like, no, you died here, you are going to take care of her children. It's like, but she's alive and she's thriving. Like,
She's
she
doing
might not be
well.
exactly like, I
But
mean,
she's
she's able to
alive.
do those things that you did for her. So all these years, the person just drained you and just messed up, and
But do
so
you
people need
think
to know.
that mentality is still with us today? Because I'll give an example. I think my dad always said like he will always advise that the reason why I need everybody in the family to be okay, to be on their own, is so that no one is a leech
Yeah.
in the
Mm-hmm.
future. And I was like, to be honest, I don't really care if anybody is a leech. I would do because he was saying that to say that maybe because I think that's how he carries his own thing or his own family right now, is that okay, if one is a leech, we have to help you. We still have to help you, right? But I
Mm,
was like, I don't really care, right? You are my sibling, right? So I would do a bit more for you than I would do for a random person, but I will
mm.
not kill myself because I worked hard. You chose to not work hard. So like to me, like it's not personal, right? So
Yeah.
say, Olori, your brother, I saw him carrying
That's his
load in the
business.
markets. I'm like, oh, that's a cute one. At least he's working, right? At least he has a
Yeah.
job. I will not take it personal that, oh, someone of my caliber, my brother. I
Yeah.
will do what I can. If that one if that's not enough, then we'll take it as it's God's will. But I would,
Yeah.
so I don't know if in our time we're still that, my brother cannot die when I'm here.
What will
Yeah.
I'm
people
like, yeah,
say?
I'm like, let them talk. Like,
The other thing is that the problem is a lot of the time, whatever you're doing for a lot of people that are entitled and have
Mm,
been enabled, a lot of the time they don't appreciate it. You will do
exactly.
something, they'll say you're showing off. They'll say you've not done enough for them. You're doing this for your
oh,
own children.
thank you. Your child
You,
went to Harvard. You sent me to Commandants.
uh, uh,
Hey,
a lot of the time it's not even appreciated, and which is why a lot of people don't even do again, because some people,
Yeah.
even from third hand experience of seeing what their parents went through with people,
Mm-hmm.
they vowed that they would just help in a way of distance helping, not the one that they will be
Yeah.
doing monthly allowance. And a lot of the time that gives you peace of mind, because to be honest, this helping sometimes now becomes dependence. Like the person is
Mm,
dependent on you when maybe things are not so groovy like that again.
yep.
You will still want to keep it up and be no, it's too
And that what
much.
causes problem because people don't want to, because that's the thing that I've seen. People don't want to voice out that um Because
Times
if you
are
put
hard.
someone on a monthly allowance, right?
Yeah.
The day it doesn't come, they know that okay, something is
Mm-hmm.
amiss. So even your own personal struggles that you'd have handled, in private,
Yeah.
are now
Mm.
public because everybody's now managing that okay, you used to give us 10 million every year before. Now it's 5. Then you are not doing things that maybe you wouldn't typically do to cover up.
Mm.
Exactly.
And this is when they now start also calling the wife or the husband witch and wizard.
Thank you. That before
They
she
now say
came,
it's their fault. You were not like this.
And it's crazy. I just
I
remember the
think.
friend I had, and I remember my sister because when we were growing up, my sister she loved the life. Like I just want to chop life, but she was so lazy. And I was like, look, oh, it's not when I will come and have this thing. You're gonna spend your money eating at a 5-star, be Michelin 5. I was like, look, you need to work. And eventually, like she had to, because it's like, I want this lifestyle. So I'm going to, at some point, she was like, I'm going to marry a rich old man. My mother used to pray against it. God forbid we won't. So basically, she changed and she's like, she even works more than me. Like, she's hardworking, everything, she's into everything. Now, on the other hand, I had this friend that was literally a leech. And the fact that I gave this person loans, and I'm just like, it's crazy. Like, I would never have wanted that for my sister, but how did I accommodate this type of friend? Like, I wonder about it now, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I don't know, Sha. But I think sometimes it can happen like that to some people, where it's like, okay, my family member, because it even happens within family members. There's some family members that are favored more than maybe some other people in the whole
Mm.
helping entitlement. But yes, I don't know, Sha. But I regret the whole help because that person was an adult. If I could talk to my sister and say, look, you need to step up. If I can talk to myself, why can't my friend talk to herself or himself and say, oh, I can do this without this person.
no, but it depends because for your sister, it will not be insult. For your friend, it will not be like, so is it because?
It's true.
Is it
Exactly.
because that is their favorite line? Is it because is their
Mm.
favorite go-to line?
Yeah.
But
And
for your
then
sister, you will fight and go home, and we're all good.
I think the best policy, which normally happens the older you get, is not to give a shit. Sorry for
Yes.
my language, but that is when you reach the point of success. when
Exactly.
when you don't care. I think there's a lot of care, and not when you don't care in a bad way. No,
Mm-hmm.
because I personally believe that if any of my siblings are struggling, I know that I will assist. I know that I will help. But once I see, but I want God to open my eye that once I see that they are being silly, I have to correct that. You understand what and
Exactly.
act right.
Right.
But then I think a lot of the time is too much care about what will people say that
Yes.
causes problem. So once somebody reaches that breaking point of I don't care, if somebody says, oh, they
Yes.
saw
Anything.
somebody's family
Mm-hmm.
member selling groundnuts, then we're good to go. Because
Exactly.
that is what causes the problem, that you will now put you know that your child is not
Yeah.
qualified, you will now give them a MD role in the company, you
Yeah.
will now bring the company down, now you'll be covering them. Ah.
I think you need to get to a point where it's like my family or my friends, my kiniko is not a reflection of who I am. So you need to
Mm,
understand that look, whether the person is poor, because even parents do that where they want you to, they're entitled to you going to a certain school or studying a certain course. It's like if your child doesn't turn up as a lawyer, it's fine. Like you shouldn't be entitled to your child, like, oh, because I spent money on you. If the child is not asking
yes,
for money, because I think it also goes that way where it's like you're a reflection of me. So if I don't tell my friends that, oh, my child studied this
That's
or did,
true.
mm,
He's a
then it means
doctor.
that I'm not, yeah, it means that I'm not up to Kiniko. So I just think it's that entitlement Kini
and that
is
one
true.
has
It's,
caused a
But
lot of
that's a good
problem
point that goes the other way that the parents are entitled to your
yeah,
to
to your
your
to your to
life.
your life
how
life
well you do.
story.
How
Yeah, how
well
well you
you
do
do,
life.
the
Yeah,
partner you marry, the
exactly.
amount of children you have, Abba,
Because it's just like how maybe
everything.
somebody falls in love with maybe somebody who is not rich or maybe didn't go to school in a certain place and like how can you bring this person to the house? It's like it's not really about love. It's like no, it doesn't look good in our family. So you have
Over my dead
yeah,
body. They now
as
start
in
saying
you
over
get
my dead body.
you can't be entitled to who your child marries or what school or what course. As long as the person is not being entitled to your wealth or to then you should
Yeah.
be
Which is why I
entitled
feel
to
like
it.
parents should just do like because all this are sacrifice for like
Let's
maybe
go.
maybe don't sacrifice as in to me as in because to me I feel like as a woman for example I think your kid will be okay if you continue working. Like, so don't do the whole I give up my career for you. Then you now want the child to now make up. I'm like, the child don't ask you to give up. You give up on your own accord.
I think it's just people just look for who to blame. That is it. Maybe you feel underachieved in your life. You're not looking for who to blame. You will now sit down and think. Who do I blame? You say it's this child that messed it up. But on a serious note, if you really think deeply, it's not the child, because there are some people with that child, they are doing it. So let's just, oh God, this life. I've just realized that a lot human beings, we just like to look for who to blame. You see now, I know that there are some siblings that are leeches to their older siblings, because in their mind they've just said that, okay, because my sibling, maybe something your sibling did to you long time ago, but you say that is what hindered your progress, and then that is what you use to be collecting money. I don't know why you won't even not collect the money. You why won't you go out? Let's not excuse laziness as a sense of entitlement, and let's remember not to be squatting in another person's house and still be
insulting them. And insulting them.
That is it. But then that one, I would say that there is an enabling factor. Shebi, if you come and stay in my house and I don't give you the ability to open your mouth and insult me, will you be able to insult me? Because if the next thing I will tell you is, my friend, pack your bag and get out of my house, you won't have the guts to open your mouth.
But the issue with that is the men of the house need to empower, in the sense that if your siblings know that their ticket out of your house is offending your wife, they will not there. They will not there.
Yeah.
But once they know that, okay, it's a fair game, right?
Yeah.
Then they take the piss. But the one that the ticket to this man is the wife.
Yeah.
They don't play with her.
Yeah. To be honest, I think even if it's wife or husband, it depends on how you present your spouse to your family members, to your friends, to everybody. That is how they regard them. If you present them and you treat you're not coming out to come and talk nonsense with your friend or your mother or this thing. Because if you do that, obviously your friend or your mother or your sibling will have your own back. So most times, and then when they keep that thing in your head, now when you and your wife have, or you and the person has an argument, first thing they'll say, is it not you that your husband said that your pum pum is smelling? Can you imagine that kind? Yeah, but then that's So because you have enabled them to be able to open their mouth now, maybe that's why they're opening their mouth. If not, how dare you? How dare you? You don't come anyway. Me, I know, Sha, that if anything like that should happen in my life, I am going to face my spouse, because how dare you? Except the sibling is mad, that we know, okay, this is madness. But you should even fear your sibling, because a spouse or a partner is an extension of, maybe they say two become one. So you should even have it in your mind that when you're insulting one person, you're insulting the other person. Then you now be a squatter and then insult. It cannot happen now.
Oh well, may the Lord deliver us from
such
leeches. I just don't know where, as an adult, you just don't have responsibility for yourself. Like I just don't. I don't. Oh well.
That is it. It is
Selah. Shalom.
Selah.
It's been real.